This is the hour. We welcome you to a very exciting engagement, I would like to think. Today, we've invited two brethren, two very good friends, two progressive Dominicans, to sit with us for a few minutes on the first segment of our program. And I'm not even going to introduce the gentlemen, I'm going to play a little video that would set the context for our discussion. And after this segment, we have a second segment and a third segment. But to me, the most important segment is this one, which is being introduced to us by my brother Narin, the trendsetter, the judge. So let's.
Good morning, fellow event organizers, more specifically, those who will hold the reggae on the boardwalk in the south and the Independence Gopewell on the west coast. I say good morning to you. It has been brought to my attention, notwithstanding my ruling a few weeks ago, that a letter from a legal luminary has now surfaced. And that letter dated August 26, one day before the hosting of these separate events, has been issued by and on behalf of the organizer of the event in the south, the boardwalk event, to the organizer of the event on the west coast, Mr. Dane Smalling. Let me just say that, you see at this time there, it's Independence time, and got time for that. That letter, put that to rest. Then Miguel wants a retraction. Then go on a profile, apologize to Miguel if you may have hurt him in any way, shape or form. Miguel, I don't think we have to go to that extent. I really don't think we have to go to that extent. This is the views of yours truly. I take no sides. I've been affiliated in another capacity. If you look at wrestling, there is Mick Foley, there is Cactus Jack, and there's Mankind, the same person. So, right.
Thank you. So I'm the judge today. We have to get the whole litigation. That's cool. So that's what brought us here. I know both gentlemen. I admire both gentlemen. I've worked with both gentlemen. Migs like a younger brother, Dane as a brother from another border. And I have a lot of respect for what they do. We had this little thing, but you know what? This little thing created a big thing. And I'm proud to present my brothers with this mad collaboration, an event that I think is going to take Dominica by storm. So Dr. Miggs, Danger Dane, welcome. It's nice to have you guys join me on the hour.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, blessings. Yeah, man.
Thank you. I hope you don't feel no way that I went back a little back in time to move
Well,
forward.
it happened, and that's how it happened, and that made things even greater than what it was before.
Yeah, man. So let's not even talk about the past. Let's talk about the present and the future. What has ever went down between you brothers brought you together, and that is to me the beauty of life and the sense in business and collaboration. How did that start? How did this idea of collaborating on a project begin? Who was the one who started the conversation?
Well, I can't even say one of us started the conversation. After all the retraction happened, the apology, and we start talking, and we understand that we are two of the biggest promoters on Ireland. It makes no sense to fight for a slice of the pie when we can have the pie. We create the pie, right? Makes no sense fight, and it was me and Miguel constantly talking from that incident, constantly talking like, what can we do? What are we going to do? We're going to go one day, we're going to go one day, and Miguel decided like, no, it's together, everything is together, and we don't agree. We're going to go together with this.
Good. So before Miguel come in, let me just set a little context for you, Danger Dane. Maybe you have it already, probably you don't have it. In Dominica, the promotional business go way back. But I'm going to take you to the 1950s, which is where a guy called Popeye and maybe the Carnival Organizing Committee used to organize events. So the Carnival Organizing Committee, prior to that, during the time of the Second World War, Dominica was not independent, but coming out of the war and into the associated statehood business in the late 50s, Popeye was the one who was promoting, producing big events in the cinema in Roseau. Out of that, we had a man emerge called Lofty. You would know Loftus, who started doing promotion and show business in the late 60s, early 70s. Then Lofty did this thing, making way for Eddie Toulon, who became a chief executive for the World Creole Music Festival. But he too was a promoter for Frontline Promotion. So he did this thing, like after Lofty within in the late 80s, 90s, and Eddie died. Following that, Young Bull and myself became a promotional duo called BC Promotion. And with that brand, we created a number of big events. We brought down Locato and other big groups to Dominica. And then Val and I kind of transitioned into Kaiso, and Miguel Labadie jumped into the business with you, Danejahdane. So you come from a very proud heritage of promoters. And as you said, Danejahdane, you and Miguel control the promotional pie in Dominica because you are guys are the biggest promoters and producers of events. So with that being said, Miguel, I'm happy that you understand the time and place we are in Dominica right now with the promotion of events. And early before we started the live, we were talking about the scope of promotion in Dominica. So tell me what you think about this mad event that you're putting together, and if you can compliment a little bit of what Danejahdane said in terms of how you guys just realize that wisdom should guide you to work together.
Yeah, well, thanks again for having us, Alex, Bruno, King Powell. Definitely, I mean, Dane and I go way back. We have been friends first, for some time, and brothers within the entertainment business. We had collaborated before. Dane would have even booked at least one artist or maybe two on my behalf previously. We share similar ideas, though our demographic reach may vary a little bit, but then we stand the common ground and have the basic ideas and the same vision, actually. Um, Before hosting the shows, in the midst of all that, because you see, the controversy started because of, I think, misunderstandings
Mm-hmm.
on both parts and sort of, being immature and, running forward with misinformation. I mean, we are human beings, and sometimes something may present itself one way, and we may have an impression as we may see something which may not necessarily have been the case, and sometimes we do what we believe would be the thing to do within our own right. There are times we may uh, be ill-advised to a degree. So there was a bit of that to a certain degree, and even in the timing of certain actions, to again being ill-advised and having been in situations where you didn't even have total control over. But even before the hosting of these events, last year, we had already decided that, what, let maturity prevail, let common sense prevail, let us protect our friendship, let us protect our professional relationship, and let us collaborate, because no man is an island, and collaboration is strong. It is the way forward, it is the way to go. And we've struggled as a people overall with the idea of working together. That is something that I think that has stifled progress to an extent in Dominica. And Dane and I, really just had that awakening and said, what, let us do the right thing. Let us do the responsible thing. We had certain people, I wouldn't want to say necessarily mediators, but people like Simeon, Joseph, also Tamisha Labadie, a couple of people, speaking to both of us and sort of helped in terms of really just mending everything and moving forward. So we had decided before any of those shows were held to collaborate moving forward for next independence and for other activities. Mira and Danger, Miguel and Dane, MAD, Mad, certainly the Mad Festival, the Mad DJs. People can look forward to performances and appearances from the Mad DJs, okay, in the near future. starting at the Mad Festival in October. So I mean, we're at that space. I mean, you mentioned us as being very key players, in the business. Right now, we're in a space where there are more players, within the entertainment promotions industry in Dominica. Like we've seen the like the Incognitos and the Infinites and the Virus and other groups, other people, also the 365 and the other people, young people coming together, and that is what it has been. That is what it has been. Collaborations, collaborations. So Dane and I, cannot be just in the cold by ourselves. We know already there are so many challenges, you know, under which the entertainment sector has been plagued here in Dominica, especially with population and all
Hmm.
that, and economic stability, migration, of a lot of people, especially after Maria, and then the impact of COVID. But then people are still hungry for entertainment. Although, from my observation, I have seen an increase in the younger demographic really w- going out. That party crowd, I think, has increased among the younger demographic, while for the more mature, it has probably dwindled a bit. So, Mad Festival it is moving forward among other ventures between Danger and Mirror.
Very positive, very strong. I mean, you couldn't have stated that better, put this in context. And you really touched on a number of areas I wanted to ask you about in terms of the economy, how it's affecting your business, the fact that you mentioned there are other businesses that have emerged, mainly young people, which is great to have young people getting involved in the business. But you should know, Miguel, Dr. Mix, and my brother Danger Dane, that you control the core principle of the business as lead promoters and producers, and the fact that you could come together to create that brand. And based on what Miguel said, Danger, this is not a brand that is just produced for one event. That's going to be for the
No,
for the
no, no,
foreseeable
no,
future.
no, no. As I say, look out for the mad DJs as well. So it's not just an event. So look out for the mad DJs for Mad Festival and for other local and international festivals as well. So it's not just a one-off thing because we understand the importance of collaboration. And one thing that I realized of late when working with Miguel is that we have similar taste in things and we want things done. Which artists do we see on the lineup? Any one of us could have said, okay, finish with that lineup, and we would have still been pleased because we would have chose the exact same people. And that was the strangest part, like, that we had the same similar taste. So I understood why there was a issue in the past with us because we didn't realize how similarly we think with things, but now we do.
I mean, that is music to my ears. And one of the things Miguel said as well is that he did not want to sacrifice your friendship with him over just things that could just be worked out. So you guys sat down and you are now destined for bigger things. The question is then, does that work in all other departments, all other spheres? For instance, would that kind of collaboration thing work, let's say, in sports, in culture, in politics, in anything else?
But more that if we could do something like that in those other sectors, then definitely I would think we'll benefit from it because we have this start and stop culture in Dominica. Once it starts something and without help, it is cut out, and the others that come inside don't continue with it because there's no gray area for that, no collaboration with that. Just because certain people does it, others would not want to continue on whatever they set out on. So yeah, I think it's needed.
So how do we come off that start and stop culture? How do we fix that? How do
The
we?
mind, the mindset of the people. You have to understand that you're much stronger together, right? Imagine, mi amiga was good before, but I want to tell everybody this that mi amiga has never been closer than we are now. This brought us as close as like next to blood relative. This is how close we got after that incident. Yeah, because of the our mindset creates a conducive space for that, and you must have that space in order to be productive in that area. You can't enter to that with an empty mindset and it not go work or it's a me alone and who is Mr. and who is myself kind of thing and who is that party, who is this party kind of thing. Right? If we don't collaborate, then there is a problem.
So Miguel is a mutual kind of respect thing. Is nobody bigger than the other. We all bring something to the table. Let's see how we're going to make it work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely. You know, we ought to make it work. As one of our artists, one of the popular artists in his song says, let's make something happen. You know, and we have to make something happen. We cannot just continue sitting and crying. Hey, things are tough, this and that, or hey, this guy hurt me, that one hurt me, and thing. We have to move on. I mean, people have their creative differences and misunderstandings in domestic relationships and the professional working environment, whatever the case is, in the political world, in sports, and we have to get to that point where we understand, we respect each other, we want the best for ourselves and for each other and for the overall product itself. In our case, um, offering good quality entertainment to our patrons here and our tourists as well coming to the island.
Amen. And I'm happy that you said good quality entertainment because the difference I think with you and Dane is that your work is not wishy-washy, not haphazard. It's not quick fix. It's not too lewd or suggestive. It is constructive sort of packaging of entertainment that almost everybody can attend. So I must say that on the record. I'm not crying down anybody else with any other business. But what I'm saying is, when I see the work that both of you do, I mean, I can attend this work, and almost my mother too, and maybe even my grandmother, if she was here, would attend and feel comfortable and respected at your events. So I wanted to put that on the record. All right,
Yes, man.
before Dean jumps back in and now tell us about the actual event that is being carried for October. So I'm going to put up the flyer a bit later on, so then you can start. For both of you, just tell us at least what is going on, what the public can expect, the asking price, when tickets go on sale, if they've already gone on sale, and what it is that you plan to do to promote the event. And why did you start so early? I mean, we are just in June, July, and you already started promoting the event. Is there sense in doing that so early? So take it away, guys, and tell me about this mad
There,
event.
there's definite sense in promoting this early because you know what? During the independence season, we depend heavily on the diaspora. The
Yeah.
diasporas also want to know what Dominica have during that season. Okay, we're gonna go Creole in the park, but what do we do? What is the line after that? Is an early activity which is like more cultural, but after that, where can we go and enjoy ourselves? People in the process right now are booking their tickets. This is me and Miguel saying, hey, don't come just on the weekend, come down Dominica from Tuesday and kickstart the week. Right into it. So Wednesday activity, Thursday activity, you jump into festival on the weekend. Right? So the economy, we understand the economy is not the best. So therefore, we give people enough chance and enough time. If you save $10 a month, till then, you're reaching Mad Festival for sure. For sure, you're reaching Mad Festival because we have one of the most price, I say, price wise, we are the best price wise.
Mhm.
Because we actually sold tickets online for 28 US dollars for season tickets. Yeah,
28.
28 US. The 2-8. And we
Wow.
offered that early bird for a few days. We did not release our lineup yet, but we held it for a few days and who wanted to, take the chance with us and go ahead and purchase some online. They did so. Quite a few did so. I'm actually even surprised that they did. Um, but it's 2 nights, and we structure this in a way to make sure that you cannot choose a night. You won't be able to say, I go in Wednesday night, but I'm not going Thursday night. I go in Thursday night, I'm not going Wednesday night. So Wednesday night is starring Ken out of Jamaica. Miguel will tell us a bit more about Ken because I know Miguel is a big Ken fan. We have Skinny Fabulous as well. But for me, Miguel will tell you that Skinny Fabulous on the Thursday isn't the big thing for me. is the return of MFR. That's the big thing for me. So, Dr. Mix,
Yes, man. Yes, man, Powell. I mean, what a star-studded lineup, and again, people ought to understand it's no this day is Din Day and that day is Miguel Day is it's one. It's Mad
one.
Miguel and Din Miran Danger, and we're having a festival during the independent season. We're offering a
Wow.
product that we know people will love and appreciate. I mean, Din spoke of the low prices that we offered, as an early bird, even before we launched Alex Bruno. And it was really impressive to see how many people went on and took advantage of that. As I say, the early bird catches the worm. And some people really went out there to catch that worm, by getting the tickets for a ridiculously low price. Of course, it was for a specified period or a limited time. And we're now at regular prices of 70 EC dollars. Advanced tickets being sold online at ticketpile.com soon from our local outlets, and VIP all inclusive at 300 EC dollars. It's really a giveaway because when you look at it or listen to or you check out ticket prices these days, I mean, ticket prices are relatively low in Dominica compared to other territories, but we have to understand to the economy and what we're working with. So we have to try to meet people halfway, and that poses a challenge by itself because everything has gone up. Everything
Yeah.
has gone up. Airline tickets,
Airline
have
tickets.
gone up. Artist fees since COVID have just
Been
gone sky
crazy.
high, like quadruple. Then can tell you, you should know,
Of
Alex,
course, I
have
know that.
quadruple for whatever reason. And so, you have to try to make sense out of it. But then again, the challenge, Dominica is a small market, and sometimes we have to work wonders to make things happen. Coming back to the lineup, Skeng, one of the, well, I would say the most energetic dancehall artists or overall performing artists within this space right now. Has been on the scene for a couple of years, has been putting in the work, and really drawing the fans, really just building the momentum. I mean, a Skank performance is a crazy performance. You would swear that you're at one of the top-notch rock concerts, in the States or
Wow.
in Europe or wherever the case is. I mean, this guy gives it. Because a lot of artists, Alex, I can tell you, they look good on the music videos, they sound good in the studios, we get
Hmm.
excited. We like the vibe. The music sounds good in the club, at the bar, on the streets, in the rides. But when it comes to perform in front of that crowd, it's a different story. You know, be
Yeah.
it performing in front of thousands of people or performing, in front of a couple hundred people. Some artists, yes, they grow with experience, but some artists really lack that. So Skeng is number one when it comes to solid performance and giving an energetic. And he has been, among the top 3, 4
Hmm.
dancehall artists, along with the likes of TJ, who then featured last independent season for the past years. Skinny Fabulous, one of the top soca artists out of St. Vincent, a very fun artist, the happiest soca artist, I would say, has brought us several hits. I've had some big collabs with Marshall, and many other top soca artists and dancehall artists as well. And he's also a very prolific writer. And that's one of the things that I appreciate, Alex. Artists writing for each other. It's not that, hey, you know what, I have this idea, let me keep it for myself because I'm afraid somebody else is gonna, blow up with this and whatever. It comes back to the concept of collaboration, you know, and that is something I really want to. That's an appeal I would want to make for our guys here to do more of. We've seen it in recent times. We are seeing more, but then I would still want to see more collaboration. As they mentioned, the return of MFR, a big deal. Alex, I think I think you would have probably have had the privilege of introducing MFR maybe at
Yes.
Curl in the Park or
Yes.
other big events, and you know how popular, how loved these guys. I mean, I can tell you. So a lot of people are emotional about this.
Yeah.
A lot of people are emotional. It's something that people say like, "Wow, I never imagined," because all along people would just, man, 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 what a waste, what a sad thing. No MFR. What's going on? And then, boom. just like that, the return of MFR after about a decade or so in the business. And that is a big deal. I think Portsmouth is going to be empty on that Thursday night.
It should be. It should be. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it when I saw that on the fly. I say, MFR, how did you get that done then? How did you guys do that?
That one there, I'll give Miguel the credit for that one, but again, it's Mad Festival, and that was mad.
Yeah, man, definitely. So it's really, I mean, it's a vision we both had to see MFR, and we were able to pull it off. We have to give bigger credit to the members of MFR. You know, the members of MFR for putting things together, you know, and making that happen. Big up to Kidron, the drummer, Josiah, and the rest of the guys, you know, who were working on things, you know, over the years, and finally were able to just lock down all what had to be locked down and making that possible for the grand return of MFR. First time after 10 years or so in the business, and that is something that we are so excited about, man.
Good. And you were able to work out logistics with the carnival, no, with the festival committee in terms of how things are happening. I'm not too sure what other local events are going to be taking place on the ground. But as far as you're concerned, you have done all your logistics and you're ready to present a world-class event, Migs and Danger, to the world.
Yes,
Yeah.
I want to add, Alex, before Dane comes into that, as you mentioned, the festival committee. I mean, I would just quickly say that again. Remember in 2017, Dane and I you know, at the idea of doing something major for the independent season. We were challenged with with Maria and all that, and
Maria.
you know, and 2018. Here it is that we just happened to do an event the same week, right? Within a day of each other, you know. So that is that. So it goes back to the point they made that we have the same vision, you know, similar ideas of wanting to add to the package for the independent season to contribute towards stimulating earlier arrivals on the island. And that is something that we would one day, DDA, the DFC, to really embrace. We are not competing with the WCMF. It's not a competition here. It's something to really add value to the Creole Festival, add value to the festivities in Dominica, add value to the independent season, to encourage earlier arrivals, to stimulate more economic activity. We're employing people. We're employing musicians, stage people, security, etc. The whole works. People, ladies are doing their hair, purchasing their outfits. All sorts of things are happening. You know, so we are making that contribution. So we are rightfully deserving of that support and endorsement by that bigger body.
But that should go without saying, you know, Migs. I hope I'm not being political here. I would imagine that should be a normal thing, a fait accompli for the event to be endorsed and supported and placed on the calendar of activities. I mean, isn't that going to happen? It should.
Danger?
Well, I think it will be placed on the calendar. Definitely. We've always been on the calendar so far.
Okay.
So far, we've always been on the calendar.
Okay.
Sometimes we have struggles. We have struggles here in Dominica, struggles that we wouldn't find nowhere else. But still, we have to work with what we have. Meaning that, like, for instance, it would be funny that all the hotels around town is hard access at that time. Like you can't get in another the name hotels, the acceptable ones for international art. These acts don't come Dominica for a long time. A lot of the times it's 2 night maximum. They come the day before and leave right after the show. And during that time there is having access to things like that. Now, if you try to book any one of these, but you'll hear that it's all booked out. Help with that would have really be something fantastic, right? Because we know exactly who has the hotels during that time.
Yeah.
So we don't clash with the festival. We are before the festival, and festival artists they come in
Closer to
Thursday,
yeah.
closer to the event, right? they're coming closer to the event. So if it's even say, okay, Wednesday, we get accommodation, things like that, because we don't control the accommodation.
Okay.
Um, when it comes to us, if it's a Wednesday, okay, all right. Wednesday we can facilitate you guys with accommodation, but our people coming on Thursday, which is understandable. We will seek out Thursday because we have Wednesday act, and Wednesday act leaves on Thursday first flight.
Yeah,
So that doesn't clash. Okay, so just help in those departments would really go a long way.
I like that.
Yes.
So we still have a little fine tuning to do, but we are working with what we have. That's what I'm hearing from you.
Yeah, definitely we have to work with what we have. There's fine tuning to do, but we have to find a way where we can meet each other because, as Miguel said, I even like Mad Festival is to complement the Creole Music Festival, the Royal Creole Music Festival is to complement it and not necessarily take away anything from it. Our event will be smaller than the World Creole Music Festival for sure. So that means that the people that come down get a different kind of experience. It's more intimate. It's more intimate for the patrons. And a lot of people love an intimate show because when you go to a big event like the festival, if you're not really in VIP and so forth, you feel kind of disconnected. You can be way in the back, 14,000 people. You come to an event like Match Festival, you might have 2,000 people. You feel like you're so close to everybody, you feel like you're part of the show. You're one of the performing act. And that is a whole different experience. You see things on different wavelengths. So you will enjoy the big show and know that, yeah, you're not even feel like you're in the Caribbean no more. You're in a big rock concert, like what Miguel said. And then you also get to enjoy the intimacy of an event like Mad Festival. So it's a matter of no one thing, no rule, Variety is the spice of life, they say. So it's just us providing a different view for the patron, local and international.
Well, that is significant, guys. I promised you that you'd have been on for 10, 15 minutes. We have doubled the time, so I'm not going to stretch you any longer. Let's wrap it up, man, in terms of the words that you want to part with, from both of you, in terms of the local, because we talk about people coming in, but I think we should place a little more emphasis on those who are home, who are going to want to be at the MAD event as well. So, how much focus are we giving to the locals? And is there going to be any other promotion before the event for people on the ground?
Yeah, definitely there will be promotions on the ground for sure. Miguel hosts the reggae and the boardwalk every Thursday. So that's going to be the home, not where Mad Festival is taking place, but that's going to be the home of promotion for Mad Festival to come. So you can look out for a lot of promotions happening on a Thursday night. Ticket selling that we just decided to get mad at night, a Thursday night, and so
And
some
do a
tickets
special or something?
and do a special things like that. It can be expected
Okay.
from me and Miguel. So the local people definitely those are the ones that's been around with us forever. The local people they know exactly what's going on. The local people embrace what's going on and they really love it. There's not a day where I can go on the road and people don't say, "Boy, danger." I love what you and Miguel did, boy. All you coming for all of our money because yeah, that cut up there. What all you do is just Friday passing some people on the road and they tell me you have to stop and take a drink with us. And it was Mad Festival I was talking about and checking like they don't know which night to come and a season ticket. Also, if you buy a season ticket VIP, you actually save. You actually save some money. If you buy a season ticket VIP, you save some money. You actually save 100 EC dollars if you buy a season ticket VIP.
So that's what people should do. Get the VIP
Yeah, man,
season.
get the season.
Yeah,
Definitely.
man. Yeah, man. All
Yeah,
right, guys.
so we're definitely making it affordable, man, for our people.
It makes no sense having a good product that people cannot afford. And that's my
Exactly.
motto. Having
Exactly.
a good product, you don't have nothing. If you have a product so good that you want to share the world, but yet still you're at a cost that people cannot afford, then how good is your product really?
It makes little sense. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what, guys? I'm beaming with excitement and joy because it's good to see people progress. I mean, and both of you, I know you from time, and I can see the growth. I can see the progress. Even the way you speak about entertainment. I mean, I'm really, really, really impressed, and I want to say that I endorse you, Dr. Miggs. I endorse you, Danger Dane. I have a lot of respect for both of you gentlemen. I hope that you make a lot of money, at least a $300,000, $400,000, maybe more at that event. Because if you make the money is going to be put back to good use into the country. So let me know what I can do to assist in any way. If I'm going to be around, I will work for you at no cost, just to give you my contribution to the event and to show you that I really believe in the work that you guys have been doing. So blessed love, thanks for coming on, thanks for blessing me with your presence. And most importantly, thank you for the collaboration. That to me is key.
Thank you,
Alex.
having me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Respect.
All right.
Big up. Best of success to you.
Yeah.
All right. So that was it today. And Miguel Labadie, Dr. Miggs, on with me for more than the time that I promised them that they would have been on for. But it's all good that they could spend the extra time with us. This means that I'll have less time to do other things, like the Where on Earth is Asa feature or series, which continues. Asa, as we know, is kind of one of the leading, not promoters alone, but entertainers in terms of the particular music genre called bouillon. And after analyzing Asa for a few years, since he started the business, and realizing that he's going places with the art, um, I felt the need to offer him a platform on my program, and which he graciously accepted. He was on live with us to launch the program. He has not been on since. I guess he has been busy, but what we try to do, we still try to follow the man because we know he's a busy man. Um, and we know that he traveled out of Dominica. We're going to show you our little trail. And again, I'm doing this program and voicing this program, but the production behind this program is being done by Carlos Charles. So if you think I look good and sound good, it's because Carlos has been looking good. He's the chief producer and also the archivist and the one who collects the material that we need for the production. So I must give respect to Carlos one time. So as I was saying, we kind of captured, and we will always be able to capture Asa. There's no way Asa can go or be that we will not be able to know. And we captured him exiting Dominica on his way to St. Martin, where there's an event taking place. So we're going to show you these little pictures. And we do not yet have footage from the St. Martin event, but whenever it drops, we will show you. So in our continuing series episodes in terms of Where on Earth is Asa, we just want to continue to support Asa, continue to give him strength, continue to give him the love, and we will, of course, in doing things the way we do, in keeping with our approach on the program, we, as I said before, there is no way something can happen with Asa anywhere in the world and we do not catch it, because we have teams of people working different places, and we have had people where Asa work, where we had interviews with them as well. So we will find the footage and we will drop it, not just to big up Asa, but just to show the love for our culture, for our music, for entertainment, and to give maximum respect and credit as well to where credit is due. So guess what? Boy, let me tell you something. When you have a team, eh? Here we go. Take it away. He's on his way out. The promotional poster for Asa, this big event in St. Martin. That is very well priced as well in terms of the public. And I'm getting it from my sort of monitor that we may just be having a big surprise in real time happening. So if you're just tuning in, let me say a very special greeting. You actually missed the first segment of our show with Danejahdane and Miguel Labadie. And even before, I continue this, I wanted to go back again to the last segment to say that you see the collaboration that we spoke about and the way in which Miguel Labadie and Danejahdane spoke about the progress there is in collaborating and just finding out ways to work through your differences. That is a thing that we know. That's a thing that is taught. That's a thing that is understood. But somehow I think not everybody understands it that way. No matter how difficult things are, you need to find a way to work things out, especially with someone who you have had a relationship with in the past. And that is what Miguel Labadie and Danejahdane actually left us with on this program. This was golden, golden. And I mean, the brothers said that they're doing much better now than they ever did before when they were divided. So working together always produces results. When once people are of the same inclination, they are in this thing for a good cause and they want outcomes that's going to benefit the majority. There's no way you would not collaborate with all if you are in this for the right reasons. And Dr. Miggs and Danejahdane, you guys, that was a lesson. And I hope, well, I'm already learned in terms of the lesson. I hope many others would have, captured something from that, because that was the essence of what we wanted to do on that program. And now let us tell you about Asa to bring the curtain down on his performance in St. Martin that probably he and others think we did not have. Yes, Asa Bantan in St. Martin, live and listen to that. Okay, Papa, is as we see on this program, the hour we find where our brother is whenever and however, and we let the world know, we let Dominica know. That's the best we can do to promote Dominica's culture and a wonderful brother from the south, known as the Bouillon Boss. Boy, it looks as if a Pampalam song is his song, boy. That is a song that seems to be greatly featured on most of the clips that we get. And there's a history behind the Sheke Pampalam that I will not get into because it's political. But Asa has used that song very well, very effectively. And I hope he would have made $1 million on that song already and more. In fact, he has. Nothing wrong in making money. I always say that it's okay for people to make money. There's nothing wrong in people having money. I have no issues with people with their money. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. You work, you make your money, that's okay. That's what life is supposed to be. People are supposed to make money. And there'll be a time when probably I'll be in a position to help more people to make more money, because to me, that is the essence of life, is to achieve, to get education, to earn things, to progress, to produce. I mean, money is not only the essence of life, but you need money in life to survive. So why not just have people making money? So I give you respect, Asa. Continue doing your stuff. We will try to follow you as much as we can, and to present your information to the world. That was segment number 2, and we have 10 minutes to go. I don't think we have time for the third segment because My producer did not alert me that we were going beyond time with Danejahdane and Miguel, but we wanted to. We wanted to. It was important, so we stuck with it. So let me just take 5 minutes to, and I don't really like to get into discussions and not complete it, but let me just start, and probably next Sunday we'll get a bit deeper into the conversation, because one of the things that I've been observing is the local politics in Dominica, regional and international, because that's what I do, politics. And I must say that I'm hearing conversations coming from Dominica, which is, I don't really comment on as such as you observe. I don't really speak about the politics on our island in great ways. I mean, but I had to make an observation, especially recently, about some talk about reform, which is all partisan. Which is unfortunate that the reform talk has been such a partisan thing. Because as much as I think it is important, and it is important, based on the view of the Dominican people, there are more important things. I mean, yes, if you have a better system for elections, you have a more or better run elections, and the government that is more representative of the people. I have spoken about that for years and years and years. I mean, I see videos that I presented being circulated or recycled over and over again. So I am big when it comes to reform, big when it comes to sanitizing the process of elections and everything else that goes with it. I think our government has been in office for much too long. They have overstayed, thanks to not just them, but other people who, I guess, facilitate them to continue to stay. Again, I don't really have those discussions as such, but as someone who understands how the system works, I have to make a particular observation in that it is just so sad and unfortunate that the debate over reform now has been partisan at the beginning, and it continues to be a partisan thing. When something which is so broad, so necessary, is reduced to partisan color discussion. And I had warned about not going down that route, being more engaging with the discussion. There's one thing to have a message, and there's another thing to message. Because you could have a wonderful message and you suck with your messaging, you're not going to get anywhere, any traction. And unfortunately, one side seems to be enjoying the exchanges when it comes to this reform discussion. So I'm going to leave it as that. I don't want to give any idea or any opinion when it comes to reform. None. What I want to say, however, is that the people of Dominica, the majority of people in Dominica, the major emphasis as we speak right now is work. People want to be able to engage. And yes, you may say the government is not creating the environment, and you can say that as much as you want. Maybe that is true as well. But that is what the people's concern is. Work, money, or money and work. If the people cannot work, they will get the money where they can get it from. If it's a politician who has more money than you, they will give it to them. And you cannot fault the people for that, because the people want it, they need it. However, the Dominicans that I know would really want to work. But the environment, I guess, has to be created for them to be able to so do. So work and money, family, housing, these are the things that people really are worried about. How are they going to get enough money to send their children to school in September? That's what people are now trying to say, what kind of job I can get to do that? Or who's going to help me? People also are fed up. Fed up of the same old rhetoric, the same old every day, the same thing. People are literally fed up. I was speaking to a sister yesterday for about an hour. And that's what she told me, Alex. That's it. I give up. I fed up. I can't take it again. Someone who I looked up to as, if that person said they fed up, I fed up too. But I was so shocked when she told me she was fed up. And I'm like, but I know you could not fed up. I said, because I do not want to be fed up. So people are fed up. People have lost hope. That is Dominica's problems. They have lost hope in the system, in government, in how things are done. The reform conversation, too, they're fed up about that too. It is just a partisan kind of a color discussion, which really goes nowhere quickly. And probably if it goes somewhere, it's going to go in the benefit of the people who control the reform narrative and the reform initiative, which again, as I said before, is unfair. Because if we're talking about reform, we have to all agree. You cannot tell me here is the reform and tell me what you think. So I have said those things before, and I don't want to speak about those things again because there are people who are more learned, who are brighter, wiser than me when it comes to matters of state and on politics. And I just sit back in a corner and watch and learn from them right now. But I can say that my people, the people from Dominica that I engage with every day, are mainly concerned about money, their work, food, to take care of their children. They have lost hope in you all, and they are fed up of how things have been done. And Dominicans need hope. Everything that I see, Dominicans want, they need it. And it's time probably that we focus on the things that Dominicans need. And you see that talk about reform and who from overseas that has to come and vote, and all that would not even make sense if you offer. You know what? I think I've said enough. I'm done. I'm going to wind up here for today. I'll see you guys next week, Sunday. Thank you for tuning in. Share the program as much as you can. And again, we may not be many numbers, but there is value in the things that we do and say here on this program. And it doesn't really matter if the present crop of Dominicans do not totally flock towards the message. The generation to come will be better for the contribution that we are making, because I honestly produce and promote the idea of continuity. Because one of the problems that we have in Dominica is that because people are so fed up, they have just had it, and I think the wishy-washy works better than, I shouldn't say the wishy-washy, because the wishy-washy can be great as well. But the not too serious is taken serious, and the serious is not taken too seriously. That's what I wanted to say. So let me end, because I don't want to give ideas. And a brethren of mine who has no support for me politically, because he and me on different political sides. He dead red, but he tells me, Alex, he warned me every occasion, do not freely give things that people don't want. If they want it, give it. If they don't want it, and you're trying to give it and they appear not to want it, don't give it. So I have listened to my partner, but we just don't see eye to eye when it comes to politics. But one of the very few people who is willing to say, boss, I see what you're doing. That is for the next generation. Do it for them. Don't worry about this person crop. And I'm doing exactly that. I'm never going to give up on my country because Dominica is too valuable to give up on. But boy, many people that I know have given up on Dominica. Too many. And I keep on telling myself in 15, 20 years' time, you are going to need your country. Do not give up on your country. Do not just surrender this wonderful bit of real estate. And that is how I end. I'll see you guys next week, Sunday. God bless. Take care. It was nice having you. Cheers.